has taken over as CEO, while Jannie Mouton has moved from being executive to non-executive chairman of the group. Piet joins me on the line now from Stellenbosch. Piet, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Stephen.
Well, Piet, first of all, congratulations on the appointments. Of course, you have been an executive director of the group and also of some of the associates and subsidiary companies for a number of years now, so I presume there is going to be continuity of policy.
Yes, most definitely. I think, if we can step back, I think the change has come from the changes in the listing rules of the listing requirements that have taken on some of the King 3 requirements, and I think we've already set up the company for quite a while. Jannie isn't that involved on the day-to-day management of the company anymore. He's a schemer and a thinker. So the roles actually, the company will go forward a lot the same as it has been doing for the past year and a half.
And of course, I'm sure shareholders will appreciate the fact that you are taking King 3 into consideration. I mean, how's your role going to change at the group?
Like I say, I think my role is I take operational responsibility, and obviously it will mean a little bit more interaction with the press. And but I think from a practical perspective, I was already taking operational responsibility at PSG. If we do transactions, it falls to me to make sure that they are being completed successfully. And if we look at PSG, it is an investment holding company, so it acts a little bit different than most companies. And we have a strong team here. Guys like Wynand Greef, our financial director, and we've got Johan Holzhausen, which heads up our corporate finance, and then Antoine Jacobs and Francois Swart, who the respective heads of Zeder and Paladin. And as a group of young guys, we tend to make the decisions at PSG with obviously the assistance of the old team, who consists of Jannie and Chris Otto and Jaap de Tooy, who can give us a helping hand in making decisions.
What sorts of decisions are you looking at the moment? Because, of course, we've come through a very volatile market period. There must be some opportunities out there that PSG is mulling over at this point.
Yes, I mean, if we look at our 5 key businesses at this stage, Capitec being the largest, I think it's a great success story, and a big accolade that they recently got was this Credit Suisse rating them as one of the 27 great brands of tomorrow. And I think they're going to fulfill the promise that Credit Suisse has placed on them. And then, I don't know if you saw in the press a couple of weeks back, PSG Fund Management restructured the business, and they have great new aspirations. And maybe if I can mention one of the funds, PSG Tanzanite Flexible Fund, which is in their category, first over 2 and 3 years and second over 1 and 5 years. And I think there are very few funds that have that sort of top performance at this stage. And then PSG Consult, which is our broking business, I mean, they're constantly looking at new acquisitions and building their e-commerce platform. And then at Zeder and Paladin, we have various projects on the go, and all I can say is watch the space. There are some interesting things coming up. Maybe what you have noticed earlier the week was the Imperial transaction. This was a big investment for Paladin, and we'd like to thank Trevor Rogers and wish him luck in the future. It was a great investment for us, and I'm sure they will benefit from teaming up with Imperial. But it's a substantial cash injection. It's over 350 million that Paladin will get in, and we've got some targets that we will follow up in the next couple of months. And obviously we've got our schooling initiative or education initiative with Kiro, which is a cash-hungry business. So we're going to expand that quite aggressively. So we're actually quite glad that we got this cash injection.
Yeah, well, perhaps just looking at Paladin and that CIC sale, of course, because CIC was a nice cash earner for Paladin. But of course, Paladin really acts as a sort of private equity incubator type company, doesn't it?
Yes. It's a typical private equity business, and we look at all sorts of deals, but I think there's been a shift lately that we we've had a bit of a shotgun approach in the last couple of years, and we've also learned a number of lessons during the financial crisis the last 2 years, and we're actually going to focus a little bit more on certain sectors, and this education space we feel is someplace we really see a number of opportunities to go in. Besides primary education, there's further education, etc.
What sorts of opportunities are we looking at? Are we looking at private colleges, the likes of that?
We have put our feelers out into that sector, but at this stage, Kiro is it's schools, it's private schools that we are operating in. Currently, we've got 4, and we've got plans to build this out to maybe 30 or 40 over the next 10 years and see how the market grows.
Well, apart from the money that you've obviously raised through the sale of CIC holdings to Imperial for Paladin, you also had a preference bond issue a couple of months back. It raised 200 million from that. There have been some suggestions that you might like to take out minorities in Capitec, given that it has been so successful. Is that something you'd be looking at?
Let's firstly start. We've got a 35% interest in Capitec, and the current market cap of Capitec is over 10 billion. So the 200 million we raised wouldn't even come close to making an offer for Capitec.
But to increase your stake, perhaps?
I think we like our shareholding at 35% where it is at the moment. It gives us quite a bit of influence, and we're looking at a number of other acquisitions at PSG at the moment. So even if it's just channeling the money through Zeder and Paladin into the market.
Please, we have to leave it there, but I'm sure we're going to be chatting to you again soon. That's Piet Mouton.